Hello everyone. So in this video we are going to study about the accessing and updating the data using ADO.NET. So in the last video we have discussed all the classes related with the all the namespaces related with the ADO.NET in a C#.NET. So just start. Already we have designed the window for the project planner in one video. So this is our project planner. So first of all we need to add the database for this project planner. So to add the database, just click on a view menu, search for a server explorer or a database explorer. So you will get this window. So just to add the database to your project or to your application, just to right click on a data connection, go to the add new connection, and here select the Microsoft SQL Server database file. Press OK, and here select the location where you want to store your database. So I will store my database in a documents. So I will store a database with the name of project planner. So only as a project. Okay, so just OK. It will ask you for the creation of a database. It's not available, so just press S. So it will create the database for us with the name of project. Now you can see here is our database with the name of project. So we need to design the table to insert the value or to store the information of an employee from your project planner. So for this, just add a table. Just click on your project database. Just select table, right click on a table, add new table, and add the table which will store the information from your design form. So we need a table which will store the information as a name, department, team, and a experience. So the first column we will design it as a name of type n varchar, doesn't allow a null value, and then again department of an employee, again in the form of n varchar, doesn't allow null value, then team as a n varchar, and the last as experience of employee in the form of integer. So accept the value, doesn't allow null value. Save this table. So I will save this table as an employee. Just close this. Now we will see whether a table is available. Yes, the table is here with the name of employee to store the information. Now whenever we will click on a click on a submit button, it must show all the entered information from these input areas to our table. So for this, so first we will execute our project planner. This will try whether it's executing or not. Whenever we will click on employee, yes, add new employee, and from here we have to select the departments and the team. So we have not added the values for the department and team, so we'll add it, and whenever we will click on a submit button, it must store these values to the table. So for this, just to add the values to the combo box, select combo box, go for the properties, right click on combo box, go for the properties, again select that. You will get the property with the name of items, and here collection. In a collection you can add the items to your combo box. So for the department, we will add as a administration department, development department, then maintenance or a marketing department. So we will choose only these three departments. And the teams, for the team, now you can add from items, also you can add for the value in a combo box by clicking on this right arrow mark, select edit items and add analysis team, then designing or design team, then coding team, then testing, and the last one as maintenance team. So these are the teams we select. Okay, now we will see whether these options are available in a combo box. So click on employee, add new employee. Now here it is. These are the three departments that we have added, and these are the teams that we have added. So when you will click, it must store this. So we will just establish the connection. Just go for the server explorer, select your database, right click on your database and select the properties. In the properties, select the connection string property. You can clearly see this is connection string property of a database. Select it, copy this. Now on the double click of form in the global section. So to connect our application with the database, with the SQL database, we need to use the namespace as using a system dot data dot SQL client, and here in the public section as a global, create the object of a SQL connection class as a con is equal to new SQL connection and pass the parameter connection string. So paste it, double quote mark complete. So this is how we have to establish the connection of an application or of a form with the database, and using that connection string we can establish the connection. So we have created the global object of a connection class as a con. So now we have to code for the submit button. So whenever we will click on a submit button, it must store that value to the database. So just double click on a submit button here, and in a submit button just con dot close, sorry, con dot open, not to close. Open the connection first, then write the command for the inserting the value into table. So we have to use the SqlCommand class to execute the query, to create the query, or you can write a query in the string format by taking a string variable also, but directly we will write into SqlCommand class as a cmd is equal to new SqlCommand, and here write the query for insert into your table name and values, open bracket, single quote, double quote, single quote, and inside it a double plus. The first value is from the text box one dot text, then comma, single quote, double quote, plus plus, double quote, single quote, and within the plus plus sign second value is from the combo box one dot text, then again comma, single quote, double plus, double quote, single quote, and inside it the third value is from the combo box 2 dot text, and then again comma, single quote, double plus, double quote, single quote, inside it we have to store the experience fourth value as a experience, which is integer value, and text box will give you a string, so we need to convert that value. So convert dot to integer 32-bit, which value, the value from the text box to dot text. So this is query, this is the closing bracket of value, this is the double quote mark close of a string, comma, we have to pass the connection object as a parameter to your SQL command class. And here take one integer variable as a ins insert is equal to cmd dot execute non-query. So to execute the queries like insert, update and delete, which will return the integer value as the number of rows affected by that particular query. So we are taking a integer variable to store that number of rows updated here, and using object of a command class and using the method execute non-query, we are executing that query. So if ins is equal to 1, message box dot show the text box 1 dot text plus is added successfully, then con dot close, else message box dot show insertion failed, again con dot close. So save it, just run a application. So we'll see. So here it is. So I will add the first employee, the department as a development, the team is coding, and experience of 4. So I will, so Balkrishna Bharat Jagdale is added successfully. So cross verify whether this value is updated into table or not, whether that value is inserted into table or not. So just search for server explorer or a database explorer, just refresh your table, right click on it, show table data. So you can see this is the value that we have added to our table. So this is how we can perform the insertion operation using ADO.NET. So just we will try to execute one more time. Okay, so submit it. So the input string was not in correct format, so we have to handle it properly using the exception handling. So we'll try to use the exception handling, means whenever we will enter click on submit button without entering any value into text box, it should not be saved, or it should not cause the abnormal sorry execution of a program, or it will not stop the it should not stop the execution of a program abnormally. So to handle it, just we will add this code within the try block. So after else we will close try block, and in a catch block create the exception object as E1, and here display message box dot show E1 dot message, and write a finally block to close the connection. So it will always execute. So just use it for so just try. So now see, input string was not in correct format. So it's not causing the execution of a program or your application, just it will raising an exception that input string is not in correct format. So why it is so? So while creating a database, we have set allow null as a false, so it should not allow null value. Just we will enter one or two three values, try to submit it. Again it will show input string is not in correct format. So now we have to enter all the details, then only it will store the information to the database. So we will select, so Rahul is added successfully. So this is how using the insert query we can insert the values. Now if so we have to insert the values for the project also. So for the project we will add a new table to our database. So this is the design window with the name of the project, variants of the project, a starting date, ending date, and the teams. So teams in the form of required teams. So it's a integer. It should be integer value. It's the date and time, and these are the text properties. So we need to create a table with the 5 columns. So just here the first name of project. So and varchar 50 doesn't allow a null value. Then variants of the project. Again and varchar doesn't allow a null value. Then start date, date time. Then end date. Again date time. And the last one is teams in the form of integer. So save this project with the name of project details. So this is our table. So just double click on a button first. So whenever we will click on a submit button, it should store the information to the project table. So first of all, already we have created an object of a connection class as a globally as a con. So just double click on a submit button, and here again open the connection con dot open. So within the try block only we will write the code. And then again SQL command class, create an object as a new SQL command, write the insert query, insert into the table name is project details space values, open bracket, single quote, double plus, double quote, single quote. The first value is from the text box 3 dot text. So here we need to know the name properties of each and every input window. That is, first is text box 3, this is text box 4, this is date time picker 1, this is date time picker 2, and this is the text box 5. So to store this, have to use those names of input boxes. So here we need to know the names of each and every control. So comma, Again, single quote, double quote, double plus, double quote, single quote, inside a double quote mark. Next, the text box is text box 4 dot text. So again, comma, single quote, double plus, double quote, single quote. So the next is date time picker, because the starting date of the project. So date time picker dot text. Then next, comma, single quote, double plus, double quote, single quote, and inside a plus sign, date time picker 2 dot text. So here double quote, single quote, and here date time picker 2 dot text, and the last is comma, single quote, double quote, plus, double quote, single quote, text box 5 dot text. And this is the bracket complete of value, double quote mark for a string, and then connection object as a call. So this is code. Then integer ins is equal to cmd dot execute non-query. Again, it will return a value. So if ins is equal to 1, if number of rows affected by the query is 1, message box dot show the text box 3 means project name dot text plus double quote mark, sorry, plus within the quote mark is added, else message box dot show not added. This is the completion of try block. And here catch block, create an object of exception as e1, and message box dot show e1 dot message error message, and we will take a finally block to close the connection. Whether exception will occur or will not occur, the finally block will execute compulsory, so we are using that final block. So just start, click on project, add project. So first we'll try to add it. So the conversion failed to date from character string. Okay, so here I will add the name of the project as mail phishing, variants hacking, or security. The starting date is today's date and ending is 21, and the teams 5. So conversion failed for the data and string. So we are taking while creating a database, while mentioning the type of the columns of start date and end date, we have taken it as a date time, so we need to convert these values. So use convert class dot to date time, and the value from the date time picker one dot text. Again conversion for the second end date also as convert dot to date time, within the bracket pass the parameter that is date picker time 2, and again we need to convert the value because it is integer, so convert dot to integer 32, the value from the text box 5 dot text. So these are the changes we have to make. So save it, then run application. So select on a project, add project. Now just submit. So input string was not in correct form. So while creating a table, we have set the property doesn't allow null value, so it's showing this exception. So here I will add now a mail phishing attack detection, the variants security, the start date is today's date, and the end date must be the 21st April, and it requires 5 teams to submit. So mail phishing attack detection is added. So we'll cross verify whether this project is available in the table or not. So close the extra windows, go to the designing page, view server explorer, then refresh your table first of all, then right click on a table and show table data. So you can see this is the table data. Okay, so this is how we can insert the value. Now for the same thing, if you want to view the details of added employee or added project, here only by pressing one more button, a view employee and the view project over here, and if you want to display that information to the same window using the data grid view, we can code for it also. So just add one button here, a button 5, place it at a proper location. So go to the text property of the button, change it, view employee. Okay, so one more button. Okay, so we will add this button to panel. So in a project, one more button, and change the text property, view projects. Okay, so whenever we will click on this button, it should display all the information of employees, all the details of all employees. So for this, we will take a data grid view or go for the control in a toolbox with the name of data grid view. Just double click it, add this data grid view. Okay, so again for the project also, okay, no problem. So we can add this data grid view to the panel only, but okay, to the panel only we will add the data grid view. So data grid view, Okay, and place it here on a panel. Okay, then for the project, add one more data grid view for the project. Okay, so whenever we click on view employee, it must display all the information. So for this purpose, just double click on a view button, open the in a try block only. We'll use the exception concept of exception handling. Okay, so open the connection first of all, then using SqlDataAdaptor class, create the object is equal to new SqlDataAdaptor and the query select star from employee table name, comma, and connection class object as a con. Okay, then we have to create the object for the data table class is equal to new data table. Then we have to call the field method of a SqlDataAdaptor class, and we have to pass the object of a data table as a parameter to your field method, and then we have to use the data grid view, one data source is equal to dt. So we save it. After a try block, a catch block to handle the exceptions as E1 again, and a message box dot show E1 dot message, and a finally block con dot close. So save it. So here, yeah, now just click on view employee. So these are the employees that we have added previously in our database. So we have to set a code like this. It must not display the data driven view button on the form row. So we need to, whenever we will click on employee, it must open the view employee button, and after click on view employee, it should display the data grid view. So for this we have to go for the visibility property, then again we will do it in later part. So just code for the view projects again in a try block, con dot open the connection, then again copy the same code, control C, copy it, paste it, just change the table name here as a project details. The project name is project details only, as project details con dt, and here change the source view as a 2 because we have to display that information in a data grid view 2. So sda dot, okay, we don't have a close method. So save it, execute, just click on a project and view project. exception catch. Oh, we have not added the catch block for the try. Catch exception. So copy the same code which we have written previously. So copy it, paste it after try block, save it. Now execute, run our application, go for the project, view projects. So these are the projects that we have added. Okay, so this is how insertion and the select operation works in a C# using the ADO.NET. Again, we have to change the visibility properties. So when it is the click event on a form load, just data grid view 1 dot visible is equal to false, make it false. Again, data grid view 2 dot visible is equal to make it false. Again, button 5 visible is equal to false, and button 6 dot visible is equal to again false. And in the press of a submit button at the last in a finite block, button 5 will make it visible. Just we will try what will happen is equal to true after adding a project or by clicking on employee tab. Not no, if you want to see the directly without adding and project, if you want to see the employees, it's not possible. So on the click event of this, here it is a tab control 1, here make button 5 dot visible is equal to true, and button 6 dot visible is equal to okay. And on this click event, firstly make data grid view 1 dot visible is equal to true, and for the project view project, this is button number 6, and data grid view 2 dot visible is equal to true. So this will execute. So it's not showing anything. Just click on employee, so it's view employee, so it will view the employee. Then now project, view projects, now it's project. If you want to add the project, now it is adding the project. If you want to add the employee, this is for the adding the employee. So just I will add one more detail, employee as XYZ from the administration with the team analysis with the experience of 15 years. Submit it. XYZ added, submitted. Then view employee, so you can see this is that. Now if you want to set the code for updating the data grid, whenever you will click on a submit button, add the code for a submit button, so automatically it will it will refresh the, so by adding the project as the name as cloud service, the variant is 3 services. The starting from the today up to the 30 April, and it requires 3 days. Submit it. Cloud service is added. New project. Now this is how we can perform the insertion select operation on a database. So this is all about the connection of a database using ADO.NET to your application, inserting the values into database and selecting the values from the database. Thank you.